Ever faithful God.
Hello, my people. Today we are asking the question whether intermarriages in Africa is gonna stop tribalism in Africa, because a lot of countries in this modern Africa are having intermarriages. The tribes are marrying each other more than before. I think the statistics now is gonna be like maybe 10% or 20% jump in intermarriages in Africa. And as we see increase of intermarriages in Africa, one might think that this is gonna bring to an end to tribalism we see in Africa. Some people might argue that there is not enough intermarriages happening in Africa to stop this, old habit, you can call it, this tribalism in Africa. We see there's a lot of tribalism in Africa. People, just have a tendency to dislike other tribes in Africa. We see it a lot. This is not something anyone can deny in Africa. We've seen some terrible stuff done to other tribes in Africa just because of hatred. But now the modern people, the modern Africans, now they're having intermarriages in high rates, and one wonder whether this is gonna have a positive effect on tribalism in Africa, because these marriages, it creates bonds with families, but when you look at how deep tribalism is entrenched in Africa, one might, argue that this tribal marriages, intertribal marriages, is not gonna do much to quench this tribalism we see in Africa. And there's people just they are stuck in their ways, in their tribal ways or tribal hatred. They can't get themselves out of it. It's like racism. Tribalism and racism, they are one family. They come from a family of hatred. That's what it is. And some people can't, when people, the West, they're looking at Africa, they don't understand why people in Africa are tribalistic. But when tribalistic is a different stuff. Tribalism, people that identify as one tribe, is another stuff. Because I don't think tribes is a bad stuff that God created. I think is good stuff that God created, a tribal, make people live in a tribal way in Africa, so that they can do things as one. Because then, when Africa are not colonized by the West, these tribes organize themselves in families, and they live in harmony among themselves. They live among themselves in harmony among their tribes. But it is sometimes what we see before the colonial master came is just people fighting other tribes fighting other tribes. Even people are still doing it up to today, tribal wars in Africa. But the tribes doesn't fight among themselves often like a war. And I'm not saying there might not be strifes among the one particular tribes, problems. But I'm not saying that they fight among themselves like war, outright war. I haven't seen anywhere stuff like that happen. I'm not saying there might be clashes sometimes, but you can't have an outright war within a tribe in Africa. But because some people are stuck in their ways, they just have a hatred for that tribe, no matter what the other tribe does. Even some people, when they are voting in an election, they want to. If you are not from their tribe, they're not going to vote for you. And this is apart from even religion. In Africa, people vote in religious lines as well. Sometimes. But we're not talking about religion today, we're talking about just tribes. And let's circle back to our topic about whether this intermarriages is going to improve intertribal harmony, we say in Africa. Because we know that in the past, even now, in Sudan, Congo, Nigeria, Ethiopia, many places in Africa, even Uganda, you just have a lot of tribes clashing, trouble within two tribes, Africa is full of that history, you know what I mean? But now that the modern African people are trying to intermarry, marry among different tribes, we hope that as time passes, this is going to be something that will end these tribal strifes and wars we have seen in Africa. But I think it's a move in a positive direction for people to marry within their tribes. Because some Africans might not marry in different tribes, but when they travel abroad, they don't mind marrying from other group, not even their tribe. Within different tribes in Africa, they can marry from other groups. They can marry Chinese, Indians, white women, but they cannot marry from other tribes in their country. You know what I mean? And I don't think it's going to change. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like our video. Peace.